Hello, I'm Representative Viola Davis, and I serve Georgia House District 87, located in DeKalb County, primarily in Stone Mountain, Tucker, and Pine Lake. I decided to do a video to explain the reason that I oppose the ARC 15 Citizen District member map. To give you a little history about me, I spent over 20 years volunteering for a ministry that I helped co-founded called Unhappy Taxpayer Voter. And one of the items we did was, as a government watchdog, we would monitor how tax dollars were spent. So a lot of times over the years, we would visit the ARC meetings, protest there, and follow the way in which they were spending money. So when I saw this map, a number of red flags went off. So let's start off with the map. We were given this document that showed the current and proposed map. Well, let's look at the proposed map, because to tell you the truth, the current map was bad, but the proposed map made bad worse. When you look at DeKalb County, you will find that it has been divided into 5 districts. When you look at Fulton County, you will find that it was divided into 8 districts. What makes it even worse is that the 5 districts in DeKalb melts into approximately 7 counties to include the city of Atlanta. When you look at Fulton County, it has 8 districts and it melts into 9 counties. Now, the counties altogether number 11. So to have Fulton County melt into 9 counties out of 11 shows you that the division can be quite harmful. Now, we're saying that any number over 3 is going to cause excessive division, which then decreases the numbers. And when you decrease the number, you decrease the level of representation, funding, and services for communities primarily of African-American, Blacks, and communities of color. In this diagram, you will see we asked in our open records for a breakdown of the overall population. The population census for ARC 11 county area is this initial document. They even broke it down by county and districts for 2010 and for 2020. When you look at these 2, or should I say 3 documents, you're going to notice something. You'll notice that when it comes to districts that are predominantly African-American and communities of color, they're going to be divided into more districts and more counties, decreasing the numbers once again, which decreases representation, funding, and services. And for your counties that are predominantly white, you will notice that they are often in single districts, and they melt into no more than about 2 counties. That increases the representation. And if you have increased representation, more than likely, you're going to have better funding and better services. So let's look at this diagram here. What we did is we divided all the counties and we counted the districts to the number of counties that they're in. If you look at Fulton County, you're going to see that Fulton has 8 districts and it melts into 9 counties. DeKalb had 5 and it melts into 7 counties plus the city of Atlanta. You have Gwinnett, 4 counties and 4 districts. Cobb is 3 districts melting into 3 counties. Henry is 2 districts into 4 counties. Rockdale is 2 districts into 4 counties. Douglas is 1 district and 3 counties. You'll see that Fayette is 1 district into 2 counties, which is the reason we had that color in black, because this is a good rating. Anything 1 and 2 is considered good. Clayton County is 1 district melting into 3 counties. But the thing that threw us off was Cherokee County. Cherokee County is 1 district, or should I say 2 districts, melting into 3 counties. Cherokee is predominantly white and Republican. So we didn't understand the reason they decreased their level of representation and overall power. Forsyth, again, is 1 district and 2 counties. So districts with 3 or more have their representation and voting power decreased and diluted through division. The counties are highlighted in red that are harmed. Now, we must verify adverse effects on representation, funding, and services. In order to really find this out, we have to go back at least 5 to 10 years. So let's just take a look at Fulton County, which has a population of 1,063,937. Now, it is a predominantly Black and, or should I say, African-American county and community of color. Fulton County is divided into the 8 sections in the proposed map, and it's also divided into 9 of 11 counties. Fulton County has 8 citizen members, with District 4 being presently vacant. You have 3 African Americans, as what is pictured on here, and 4 Caucasians. The African American that is District 2 represent Clayton County, which is a predominantly Black county. The other 2 African Americans, District 11 and District 5, you will find that District 11 represents Dunwoody, which is predominantly white, and District 5, the address was in Villarica, and her 2 representatives are Republican. So for right now, we asked for the demographics of each district, but we have not received that yet. So for Fulton County has a total of 36 elected officials in the delegation. There are 9 Republicans and 27 Democrats. The racial breakdown of the Democrats is 14 African American or Blacks, 12 Caucasian whites, and 1 Asian. We checked which elected official represents the citizens that's pictured above, and they included 5 Democrats and 5 Republicans. The racial breakdown of those 10 elected officials are 9 Caucasians and 1 African American. Now, what we found was interesting is the 1 African American out of 14 that represents Fulton County did not live in Fulton County. So somehow, none of the African American elected officials, and remember this, none of our districts, if you're talking about the House members, overlap. So if the House district members do not overlap, then that means all the people in our district are locked out of being able to decide where money goes. Next, we have district, county, DeKalb County. DeKalb is divided into 5 districts. And as I stated before, it melts into 7 counties, if you include the city of Atlanta. You see here 2 African Americans. Now, District 6 represents Rockdale. And as I stated earlier, District 11 represents Dunwoody. As far as who represents Central and South DeKalb, you'll find that there are 23 representatives, both House and Senate combined, that represents DeKalb County. 13 African-American Blacks, 1 Asian, 1 Hispanic, and 8 Caucasians. Now, what we want you to know is that when it comes down to the House members, right, you have the African-Americans, you have the Asian and the Hispanic representing primarily African-American districts, but we also have 2 Caucasians that represents Blacks and people of color. They are the majority. So once again, when you look at all the African-American legislators in their district, not one represents anybody that sits on this board. And another thing to remember is that in DeKalb County, we do not have any legislators that are Republican. Yet on this board, you have 3 Republicans representing at least one of these board members, whereas you have 0 African Americans. Next, we have Henry County. Henry County, of course, is divided into 2 districts and 3 counties. It is 48% Black and minority. There are 10 elected officials in the delegation, 4 Republicans and 6 Democrats. Now, when we check the address of the person representing District 1, he lives in Lovejoy, and he is represented by 2 Republicans. The 6 African Americans and 6 Democrats, all the people that fall within their district are locked out of having representation. Next, in Douglas. Douglas County is around 45.9% African American, and the rest is like 5.67 and 2.6 people of color. Douglas County is divided into 4 counties. You have 8 total elected officials, 3 Republicans and 5 Democrats. District 5 is located, the District 5 member is located in Villa Rica. And as I stated before, she is represented by 2 Republicans. You have 1 African American on that board. And as stated before, none of the African Americans in Douglas County represents anybody sitting on that board. So once again, they are locked out of being represented. And if you locked out of representation, you locked out of funding. Locked out of funding, you locked out of services. Your current map single districts is District 4, which is Central Fulton, District 7, which is Central DeKalb, District 8, which is North Gwinnett, District 9, North Gwinnett, District 12, North Fulton, District 13, North Cobb, and District 14, North Cobb. In your proposed map, you have District 4, which is Central Fulton, District 7, Central DeKalb, District 8, which is North Gwinnett, and District 9, which is North Gwinnett, plus District 13, which is North Cobb. So now we have to go to questions, comments, and concerns. The questions and comments that we have is, number 1, we found that the counties pay $1.10 per person on the number of their population, whereas the city of Atlanta pays from 44 cents to 66 cents. It sort of threw us off. Why is it that the city of Atlanta pays less than the counties, but I'm thinking that they get an equal vote. Now, we also asked for what do the cities pay as far as dues and fees. The only city that was listed was the city of Atlanta. Is the city of Atlanta the only city that pays? What happens to the other cities that receive funding? How do we address the non-compliance with Title VI? Without a doubt, there is no way you should have 4 counties in which all the African-American legislators in their district, everyone that's in their district, and you have to understand, we don't just represent African-Americans or people of color. We represent every nationality, every religion, every color, every sex. But still, we represent a very protected population. Clearly, the Atlanta Regional Commission is in violation of Title VI. We must find the root cause because this has been going on at least for 10 years. We need to know what financial harm this has done. And if there's harm financially, then there was harm with services. We need to get to the root cause so that we can draft a viable corrective action plan. This is not a small fix. And I want to make that clear. We have to find out, how did this happen? We need a full investigation and study to evaluate the reasons for these disparities, the reason for evidence that there is clear evidence of violation of Title VI, which means there's clear evidence of discrimination, and voter disenfranchisement. You have decreased division when it comes to representation, which we have to find out, was there an overall denial of representation? If representation was completely denied, then not only have you violated Title VI, you have also violated the Constitution of Georgia. Everybody has a right to that representation, except if you're convicted of a crime. And last I checked, the million people that have been, over 1 million, and that's been very conservative, haven't been convicted of a crime, but they have been denied representation under this ARC Citizen Member Board map. And we need to find out the harm it has caused. I want to thank you for taking the time to view this video, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of what the root cause is so that we can come up with a viable solution. Now you have a blessed day.